Still got I still got jelly beans in my mouth.
Do you want to do an intro song? We'll do an intro song when you go live.
Yeah, we're already live. No intro song.
Oh, we're all live? Okay.
Yeah,
Eric,
no intro. No.
Eric is live tonight with War2.
Oh, geez.
I
thought it was Jeremy.
Cosmic.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was Vanderbilt. Hello, everybody. If you're watching this on playback, I apologize. We don't really have, there's no shows on, so we don't really have anything super planned. We do know when they're coming back. So all the videos out there that are saying they don't know when it's going to return. I've seen a couple of new ones. But yeah, we know when the shows are coming back. So it looks like Flash and Legends are going to be back on the 21st of April. And Supergirl and Batwoman will be back on the 26th of April. I believe that's the dates. So what do you think about that, Paigey? What are your thoughts on that return? It's like a whole month away, basically.
It's technically 3 weeks, young Eric.
Yes.
Actually, it's 3 weeks exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a diss track.
It's a little more than a fortnight, I guess.
As in the video game?
No, as in Fortnite.
I said Fortnite in a video.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised by how many people did not know that Fortnite meant 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's weird.
I was shocked. I was completely shocked. I was like, Jesus Christ, what the hell? Anyway, I'm not surprised. The biggest reveal from that is that they don't have 20 finished for Flash.
Right. Yeah.
If 20 was done, then we'd be starting in 2 weeks. But because we're gonna only have up to 19. And then
do you think they were trying to make 20 work, and that's why they waited so long to make the announcement?
I have no idea why, because it had been said that it was pretty Flash episode 20 was apparently in the same realm as Supergirl, where some of the cast, I think they even said that Grant had finished specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Like Grant wasn't filmed. I don't know though what's going on there 100%.
Yeah.
But that just, I guess, hashtag confirms, hashtag exclusive, hashtag revealed that Flash did not finish episode 20 apparently.
Right.
So
so let's continue this conversation. First I want to put Angelo Carter's comment up here. This is for you. Demonetized. Is that Jeremy Conrad? LOL with the 199 super chat. Thank you so much.
I don't know. Eric gave me this photo and said put it as your avatar, so I just went along
absolutely
with it.
Yeah. So as you can see, it's such a beautiful picture.
He told me it was Robert Storms, but apparently it's not. Apparently it's Jeremy Conrad. So you learn you learn something new every day, I guess.
Where's that bus that I just got thrown under? I'm not sure. It's around here somewhere. We have a super chat from Victor D. Chinchilla. Do you think Luke Fox will use his father death as a reason to create a bat suit for himself? That's a really cool theory. I never even thought about that. So we know that he's going to eventually become the Batwing character. And are you caught up with Batwoman right now?
Hashtag no. Still watch last week's episodes. Just because, when you have all this free time, you just don't do what you normally do in your free time when you have extra free time for some reason. You know what? I've been binging Forensic Files on Netflix. Have you ever watched the Forensic Files?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Oh, I just put it on and just watch it, and it's so stupid. Honestly, I know we're just sidetracking here, but I guess we're talking about the death of a father.
Mm-hmm.
If I was going to be a serial killer, you'd watch that show and just watch how people stuff up. Because my logic behind it now, and this is probably going to be the incriminating evidence, and when I get caught for being a serial killer. I think if you try and do too much, that's when you get caught. You got to sort of hit the middle ground of not just leaving your fingerprints everywhere, but also not trying to clean everything and going over the top, because then you'll make it too clean, and then they'll be able to trace some sort of cleaning detergent to a shop where you bought it, where you got some bleach and a rag and stuff. Okay. You got to get it right in that sweet gray middle area.
Okay.
Where they could honestly get multiple suspects and you can fly under the radar. Be like, hey, I didn't even know this person that got stabbed in the head. It wasn't even, so yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, could I become a serial killer? And the answer is possibly. I think I might watch another. They don't call them seasons; they call them collections as well. So,
okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
That sounds very pretentious to call them collections. That's a pretty
I know. It sounds like some sort of weird like Hannibal Lecter crap. Like, oh, here's my collection of arms that I like to nibble on. I'm pickling them at the moment for later consumption. But yeah, so sorry to like. Well, there's the stream demonetized.
So I think that what you're saying is that that Victor's question means he could possibly use his father's death as a reason to create a bat suit. Is that what you're saying?
Technically, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the super chat, Victor. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Look, Laura E says that she almost fell for your video. Almost. Well, it still could be true, right? I mean, we're not saying it's true or false.
That was all 100% true information. Did you not see the source down in the description? The information came from warstu.org.
Yeah.
So it's all 100% legitimate.
All right. Well, there you go.
There's that.
So, continuing on the topic for the Flash, there's been a lot of people talking about the possibility of a shorter season, and now after we've seen at least 2 articles about this, they're going to finish the season. It just depends on when we're going to get the episodes. So, you think we're going to get, like, based on what we know, we're going to get the 22 episodes, right? I mean, that's
apparently from what I've been told, they're legally contracted to do 22. So that's the thing. They'd have to pay out a lot of people, and they'd be losing money if they decided to go, no, we'll cut this down to 20. They're better off finishing this 22, and then just, if they can fit 22 for season 7, then they'll do 22 for season 7, or they'll just construct the episode number around what they can fit in, I guess, with their filming schedule for season 7. So
right.
I don't think you can get lower than 20, but it could affect season 7 getting 22. That's from what I've heard. And
so we're suspecting that season 6 will get its normal episodes, but season 7 may be a shorter season by a few episodes.
I guess, but that's the thing. Like, I know what it's like in other countries, but it's important to remember the world has to keep spinning. The economy has to keep flowing. You can't just freeze the world. Right. What you can do is tell people, hey, don't go to a nightclub and sweat on people and give everyone corona. Oh, there's the stream demonetized. Demonetized 3.0.
I mean, you are trying really hard. I think you've accomplished it at this point. So you can slow down a little bit.
Okay, so technically that's 3 strikes. Are we out? No, we're still streaming. But Eric's presence was one form of demonetization. The serial killer discussion and whether I would or not get caught, there's strike number 2. And just saying corona, there's strike number 3. However, seems like we've got a 4th life. Or maybe we've got 9 lives. Maybe we're Catmen tonight. Maybe we're the Tiger Kings. I don't know.
Speaking of that, have you seen that yet?
Yeah, I finished yesterday morning or something like that. It's the most what the hell documentary I've ever seen. It's got like 5 twists where you're like, wait, what? Like one of them.
Every episode was a new twist. Every single episode was a new twist. That was
I won't
funny.
Spoil it, but there's one moment where I was just like, I was like speechless because I was like, wait, hold on, that actually happened? Oh, it's crazy. Like, you have to watch it. Like, the first episode is like, it just feels like a normal documentary. But then once you get into it, you're like, this is like some sort of like Earth 3 crap. Like, this is not making any it makes sense, but it's so wacky and zany. Basically, to give you a story, it's a gay hillbilly who I think tricked 2 straight guys into being his husband.
Yes. Yeah, that's the story.
Definitely one. I'm not too sure about the other one. And he has like a tiger and lion, I guess you could say, quote unquote, sanctuary, when really it's just a zoo to make money.
I mean, if you haven't seen it, go watch it on Netflix. I mean, it's there. I mean, it's in every country.
It was the most popular thing on Netflix in the moment.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. You have to watch it. Tiger King on Netflix. It's so good.
So Canada Graph says, I more or less said this in one of my chats. They will end 6th of October and season 7 will get a shortened season. I do believe that's probably what we're looking at, guys. I think we're going to see it's going to take longer to finish season 6. They're not going to do that mid-season break probably. They'll probably just move into after the mid-season and premiere it and make the Flash like 16 episodes or something like that. Do you think that's a possibility? 16? Or do you think it'll be more than that? You think you might get 20?
I think it'll get 20 because the thing is they just won't fill in those breaks. They'll just, when we get those, like month breaks randomly or 3-week breaks, they'll just show episodes in that period. Yeah. It just matters whether they can finish filming at a suitable time, where then if like a potential season 8 happens, it's not shortened as well, so it doesn't cause like a domino effect.
Right.
But as I was, I got off track before. I don't know how I got off track. But I was saying like the world needs to keep spinning.
Yeah.
So the economy has to keep functioning. Like I know what it's like in other countries, but Australia, like they're looking to get stuff rolling back in like June. Like,
yeah, June is the target for here.
Like,
as well,
but even in Australia, it's like May because just things need to keep functioning. Businesses just can't halt. They just can't halt and stop because things run out of business. Imagine all the production companies that were relying on certain things that could just crumble, like starting up ones. Like Hollywood could just have this massive, well, I guess there's the entertainment industry and like TV and movies could just have this massive thing where it just falls apart because no one's getting money. They have to pay out certain things or they already paid for stuff that isn't then returning money. So they can't hold out until later.
Look, I've already seen Netflix has renewed like 4 reality shows. I called this already. This is going to be a situation where a lot of shows are going to get renewed because they're either cheap or they've already been established. Next year is going to be a year of like not a lot of new stuff. Unless you were already filming or you're already like basically on season 2 or whatever. I don't think we're going to see a lot of new shows in 2021. I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah. But you're right. They have to start rolling. I think. Yeah. So for my area, June 10th is sort of the proposed, like everything starts to slowly roll back in June 10th. And then I probably won't be working until July, but they're going to start sort of like doing things in June. So I mean, things have to move forward. I mean, the world can't completely stop spinning for like 8 months. That's not going to work. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, let's see. We got a question here from Victor DiCincello, $4.99 super chat. He goes, does the lockdown affect the actors or actresses' contracts or future contracts? That's a good question. I think that contracts probably have stipulations in them. Some of them probably allow them to get out of the contract if something happens that prevents them from fulfilling the contract itself. There's things there's like riders in contracts that basically allow them to change the terms and conditions based on like reasonable things. I would say in this situation, since it's something that people probably, I mean, you wouldn't have something like this in your contract. So it's going to be interesting to see how they argue this and go back and forth. But to be honest, most of these actors and actresses don't want to not fulfill those contracts because that's gigs and money that they could make. Because right now, nobody's casting for anything. Nobody is, doing any kind of like production stuff, pre-production stuff. So they want to work just like everybody else. I don't know. Do you know anything about the contract stuff? I pretty much feel like this situation is so unique. It's probably nothing in a contract that covers.
Well, that's the thing. I think because it's so unique, it's not in a contract. So technically, they could probably use it to get out of a contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, if someone was like, I don't know, let's just use the usual example because people love it. Candace Patton, say she hated being on the show, and she was just like, okay, well, in the past, saying like last year, I was offered either a new role in a TV show or a movie, but unfortunately I was filming Flash, so I couldn't go for that role that I was offered. I was offered that role. I didn't audition. I was offered it. So she would, like, in the back of her head, she might be thinking, hey, this could be a ticket. This could be my golden ticket out of this. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I think it'd be a lengthy process where, like, is it worth it? Especially when the show's probably only got like another 2 seasons, I'd say. Is it worth it? Probably not. But you'd get examples of that where people will probably try and take advantage of it because it's so unprecedented that it wouldn't actually be in the contract. Right. It would be some sort of like fortune teller crap. If someone actually said, oh, by the way, when X virus or something hits, you can't get out of it. You have to fulfill the episodes or something like that.
All right. Great. Thanks for the question, Victor. We had a comment up here from Laura E. I thought this was interesting. Do you think that Batwoman will add any more Bat family characters next season? And I know we're going to get Batwing, pretty much guaranteed. I think there's a possibility for any Bat family character that is not Robin or Batman, right? I think those two are probably 2 that we will not see.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Anyone that sort of like would have lived in the Wayne Mansion. Or Wayne Manor, sorry. Or operates out of the Batcave.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Robin, they're kind of focused on that Robin Nightwing thing over on Titans. They don't want to spread that out over into the CW shows. And Batman, we all know how that works. So I think, we could see variations of other characters, but I don't think it's sort of like Gotham, where you can kind of get certain characters, but you don't really get them. So we'll see. Thank you for the question, though. Staggervore with a $4.99 super chat. Are there any comic book villains you'd like to see used on Arrow? I guess he means Mia or Green Arrow, Green Mia and the Canaries.
No, would you have liked to have seen?
Oh, would you have liked?
Yeah, I think it was meant to have said liked to have seen, but I think you only get a certain amount of characters with a certain
Did he? Because I was saying that didn't look like past tense there to me, but I guess maybe. Either way, I think they covered most of the characters that I would have wanted to see. I mean, some of the best ones, like I think Prometheus was a character that wasn't really like the comic book version, and he ended up being really good on Arrow. And I think Deathstroke was really strong when Manu was doing it, not with all this other weird like Deathstroke gang stuff that was going on. So I can't think of anybody off the top of my head that I would have liked to see they didn't use. Is there anyone that you had thought you wanted to see before the series ended?
Technically, they were all introduced. I was disappointed that the villainous arc for Donna Smoke wasn't properly played out. Would have liked to have seen that. Like they introduced the entire Smoke family. Felicity was up there with one of the best villains on the show, so why not have her mother play into that role as well? Maybe cause like a villain on villain rivalry. We had the father there as well, and he was sort of in the gray area, so that would have created an interesting dynamic. Say if in season 6 or something that Donna was the main villain, and really Oliver might not have even have to have fought her. It could have been Felicity versus her mother. So yeah, I know like. They introduced it, but I just don't think they really played it out that way.
Okay, maybe Apartment 4 had something to do with it. I mean, that's really the only explanation for that. Let's see. Angelo Carter with a $4.99 super chat. I know season 6 wasn't that great, but are any of you excited for the final season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? So, are you caught up with that show? Did you watch any of season 6?
No.
Okay. Did you watch it at all? Have you seen any seasons of it?
I've watched it. I used to love it. Like the end of season 1, season 2 were like up there with some of my like favorite comic book TV seasons. But I think it's one of those shows where they just think it went on too long, and I think they had to because it was sort of like it was in the MCU but not in the MCU at the same time. It was sort of in a weird position where I think some of the story, where they went with the story, just sort of like okay. They're constantly referencing things. They're trying to like tie into what's going on in the movies, but the movie isn't like referencing them at all, or even paying attention to them. So
it was a big mistake for the movies not to reference any of the TV shows. I think that was a problem. I think, if you look at something like Infinity War, had the deal with Netflix not fallen through, I think you could have easily tossed those characters into the battle out in the, I'm not going to spoil it, but the big battle with Thanos. Like, you could have tossed them in there and it would have been fine. I think one thing that Marvel does not do well when it comes to like their TV and movie division is they think too hard about it. They're like, well, maybe people are not going to know who these characters are. Well, what difference does it make? I mean, you've got like 40 characters in this movie.
Yeah, like it was just like when they had Wong, is that his name?
Which one?
The guy from Doctor Strange, the Asian monk dude, is Wong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like how many people saw Doctor Strange that would have gone and seen it? Like like a third or a quarter of the people that went and saw Infinity War would have.
There's a lot of people who didn't see other. I was with people who hadn't seen all the Marvel movies. They hadn't seen Guardians too. So
they wouldn't know who Mantis is and stuff like that. They'd have no idea. So it's like, well, arguably you could say more people have seen the Netflix shows than something like Doctor Strange or at least Daredevil. Right. And maybe Luke Cage, they would have seen those shows.
There's a higher probability of the adult audience catching a show on Netflix if they didn't go to the theaters to see the movie.
Yeah.
And so,
like,
at the very least, Daredevil.
Even
if you saw Daredevil out there, people would know who he is.
Even
it doesn't matter.
Like when the Wasp is there, how many people would have seen Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Right.
Well, if you look at the box office, like in comparison to the other movies, not much. Like like a quarter or a fifth of these people. And that would have been rewatches and stuff.
And the really sad thing is, I think seasons 3, 4, and 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had a lot of really strong comic book television in it. Like the show itself started out, it was trying to be like a sort of like a James Bond Mission Impossible type show. That's why I think season 1 is a tough season, because it's got little drops of like superhero stuff, but it doesn't really focus too much on it. I think in season 2, when it starts to dive into the Inhumans and all of that, I think the show becomes inherently more interesting. My problem with season 6 of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I've said this many times when I've talked about it, is there was a certain level of quality that the show had because it was a Disney property, it was a Marvel property that they had in the production and in the post-production. Season 6, from the very beginning, the very first episode, where you see like the truck break through reality, and this big firefight with like the Coulson character and everything. I could look at that and tell right away that there was a cut in money and quality. And I mean, to be fair, they took one season and cut it in half. Season 6 is, and season 7 is actually season 6.1 or 6.5, whatever you want to call it. It's just like an additional season to season 6. I know they're calling it another season, but let's be fair here. They cut the season short. They also cut the money. And I think some of the episodes were completely out of tone. So I was not happy with season 6. And so with season 7, I will watch it. I watched season 6. I'll watch season 7. I'm going to see what happens, but I have a feeling that season 7 is going to feel a lot like season 6 because I think they filmed them all together and just chopped them in half. So I don't think there's going to be much difference. But we'll see. We'll see, Angelo. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet in terms of that. I am trying to expand more content on my channel. If I can work in like a quick fire rant and review for those, I'll try and keep up with them. But we'll see how it goes. Thank you for the super chat there. All right. We've got a couple more super chats here. Oh, wow. We got a few more super chats. Let's jump through these quickly before we're going to talk about Stargirl in a second, guys. But let me get through these super chats. Staggervore with the 199 super chat. Could the show's next season air without repeats? Not sure what you mean by that. Air without repeats. Do you mean
like there's no breaks? There's no breaks.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. They always do that though. I think that's something that the show's sort of I mean, there's no way around that, right? I mean, it's pretty much the way it works.
Even if they had a shortened season, even if they had a shorter season, they would definitely need breaks. They'd have less episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for the super chat there.
Even if they started mid-season, they'd still need breaks.
Yeah.
At least
because of like things like March Madness and stuff. So
that and just the fact that it wouldn't get to end of May, and they needed to get there.
Victor D. Chinchilla with a 499 super chat. Is the shutdown affected on how this season was going to play out with the writers, make drastic changes in the Arrowverse, or we'll just go as planned? So if the Flash is going to get all of their episodes, I'm assuming it's just going to go as planned. The only way, what were you going to say?
Oh no, I was going to say like the episodes will, as I was saying before, like the episodes will air. They have to, unless they're going to lose a lot of money. They're going to have to pay out people. Mm-hmm. So, and they've already written the 22 episodes. So this season shouldn't be affected at all, right, unless they, for instance, we're going to set something up at the end of this season that was going to be like the intro for next season, and then it was something else is going to play in the back half. They might change it where that won't be set up at the end of this season, like a cliffhanger or something like that. Yeah, and they might do the cliffhanger, say in episode 6 of next season or something like that if it's a shortened season. But yeah.
I mean, I assume this isn't like an Andrew Kreisberg situation where they have to change things. It's just a timing thing, so they should be fine, I think. Yeah. I love this question. Owlman and Batwoman. Low key, I love Owlman. Like, he's a character that I think is so interesting. Like, I really started to enjoy the character after I saw the animated feature, where they had him and he was like obsessed with like destroying everything. And I know that was based on a comic, but I never read that comic, but I saw the movie. I don't know if he could appear in Batwoman unless they just make him from Earth Prime, because Owlman is like an alt version of Batman. So yeah, would you want to see him on the show?
Well, I wouldn't mind. Like, I've been saying it. I've sort of wanted a crossover where it's the crime syndicate. So I wouldn't mind if he appeared in the thing, and then instead of Batwoman, there's Owlman. Mm-hmm. So, and then like they could do like a female speedster or something to sort of even it up. Yeah. Or something along those lines. So that's where I would want him. I don't think I'd want him specifically on Batwoman because I think it might be hard to explain it. But I think it would be cool if they did like a like crime syndicate thing where he's from Earth 3, like the comic.
I would love the crime syndicate to be the crossover event. I think that would be a lot of fun.
That's the thing. I think where if you're going to introduce any sort of crime syndicate character, it would be there. Right. Yeah, I think that'd be the best way to go.
So Radical Z with a $2 super chat. Could the Flash get 10 seasons? As a fan, I hope so. So we get this a lot. you guys, and I do appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much. We get this question a lot, but honestly, The Flash could go on for 10 seasons. It's possible. It really comes down to two things. One, if Grant wants to keep doing it, and two, if the showrunners and everybody behind The Flash, WB, decides they don't want to they don't want to produce the show anymore. That's really the only way it's going to happen. I don't think The Flash at this point could ever get canceled, because look at shows like Supernatural and some of these other shows. The Flash will only end if the network ends or if they decide to end the show, like The Flash themselves decide to end the show. So could you see The Flash going 10 seasons, or do you think 8 is more likely to be the end last season?
Well, I've always said that Flash will match whatever Arrow did. So Arrow got to 8, so I think Flash will definitely do 8. And yeah, it's the same thing. Like, it's whether Grant wants to continue, because the show's the most popular thing on the network. The only thing that will compete with it is Superman and Lois, I think, for a while. So yeah, just the Grant's the only matter. Like, everyone else could leave on the show, but if he's the only one that matters. So if he stays, and it'll keep going. Right.
All right. So I'm going to continue the super chats in just a second. I want to talk about this for a moment. So this is off Pagey's Twitter. Shout out to Pagey's Twitter. So he's got both pictures side by side. We got some new promo material for Stargirl. This is the first poster. This is the actual CW poster. What do you think of this? I really like this. I think this is a great poster. The picture's awesome. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Colors pop off the cosmic staff, everything like that. Suit looks good. I think it's perfect. This show's called Stargirl. She's at the front, or she is the poster. So I think it's the best way to go. I think it looks really good.
I honestly, the closer we get to this show, I think the more excited I'm getting for it, because I'm seeing more and more press material, more and more things about it. And then this poster got me super hyped. And then we get this poster, which is, I believe, the DC Universe poster.
Oh, sorry.
So people have been clowning this poster so hard. So based on your reaction, what do you think? Like, what is your biggest issues with this poster? Like, I just want to hear what you have to say about it.
The colors just don't work with it. The Injustice Society just honestly, they look like tools, and it makes the suits look really bad. I don't know how they did it. The suits look really bad. I don't know what's going on.
Does it look low res? It looks low res to me. Like the pictures.
It does, yeah. Like the CW one looks like honestly, it's like watching a 4K movie with the CW one, and then watching like some dodgy 360p YouTube version.
I mean, you look at this one. Look how crisp the edges are on the mask and the suit, and the lighting, and then you go to this, and it's like, what happened?
The Stargirl post, not the Stargirl, the DC Universe one is pretty much. I think whoever was doing the DC Universe promo stuff was given because they're all promo images there. They're all promo images that have just been like overlapped.
Right.
That's what's going on there. So I think they've just been given the promo images and they've said, do something with it. And I think they've been given like an hour. It looks like no effort's been put into it at all.
So I've had people asking who these characters are. Who are we looking at in this poster?
Well, do you want to go through it, or do you want me?
No. You because some of these characters I'm not familiar with. So,
okay.
So
you have Stripe in the back. You have Pat Dugan, who is Stripe, which is Luke Wilson.
Yes.
Obviously, Stargirl. You have Dr. Midnight.
Yes, I know that character.
I think it's Dr. Midnight 2. I think they're all. I think they're all 2. I think
they're all the 2s. Yeah, I believe you're right.
I think they're all called 2. I don't know if Owlman's called Owlman 2. I think he might be Owlman. I think he's just called Owlman. I think again. Anyway. That's Wildcat 2, and her head looks really bad, and I think in the other
it does. You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of the female or Rose's mask from Titan season 2.
Yeah, I don't know. There was another photo, and she looked fine.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on there. And obviously, you have Stargirl in the middle. Then down the bottom, you have the Injustice Society of America. When if you abbreviate it, it's the ISA, which sounds like some federal tax agency. So I hate calling them that. I just call them Injustice Society. But from the left, you have, I think they're calling her Paula Brooks, which is Tigress. That's what you call him, Brainwave. People saying he was Count Vertigo. I'm like, why would they have Count Vertigo in the Injustice Society?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Brainwave is literally in the Injustice Society, so that's Brainwave. Icicle, obviously, that's the easiest one. Icicle's in the middle. That's Dragon King next to him, and then Sportsmaster, which I'm sure a lot of them know Sportsmaster. Like the two most actually, I guess. was going to say Sportsmaster and Tigress should be the most recognizable, but then you have Bicycle in the middle.
Yeah, so Dragon King, a lot of people were saying that was Dr. Fate, and I was like, that's not Dr. Fate. But
if that's Dr. Fate, then Jesus Christ.
So I will say this: this poster right here has me excited. I'm looking forward to the show. The one thing I have to give CW credit for is the majority of the time, their posters look really good.
Yeah, Floating Head Flash one was a bit of an error.
This one right here, I've got it's a questionable.
That gives me Floating Head Flash one flashbacks.
So in the comment section, guys, let us know what you think of those Stargirl posters and if you're excited for the series. I can't wait to start reviewing it. And we're still not sure about the differences between the DC Universe one and the ones on the CW. My reviews will be based on the DC Universe one. So if there's stuff in there that's not on the CW one, then I don't know what to tell you. That's the one I'm going to be watching. So Cody with a $2 super chat from Team Eric. Thank you for the support, Cody. The Russo brothers wanted them in. I think he's referring to the Netflix characters and the TV side. And yeah, I can see why they wanted them in. I don't really know. I don't know why they thought that it was a bad idea. Let's see. We got some more super chats here. Raider Z with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. We're supposed to get a bunch of Disney Plus stuff next year. I'm hyped for all the new Marvel and Star Wars shows. I hope that 2021 is entertaining. So if there's anything this year that has been pushed back, then yes, I guess next year you're going to be super excited for it. I think there's a few shows we're still going to get at the end of the year. I think the biggest things that are going to suffer from this, because there's so few places for them to get released, are movies. Movies have weekends and they plan these things out years and years and years in advance. And now they have to scramble and like switch everything up for next year. This is going to be a weird, like 2 or 3 years for Hollywood in terms of film. I mean, would you agree with that? That it's going to be weird for a couple of years after this?
Yeah, like Hollywood's going to be rebuilding for like the next like 3-4 years, because everything's getting pushed back, and so yeah, it's going to be crazy what's going to happen. It's going to be
so 2021 is going to be weird. Keep an eye on that. I'm definitely with you on that one. We had another super chat here, I believe. Did we have one more? Or is that the last one? Thought I saw one more. We got 2 more actually. Where is it at? Gary Gammon, $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Gary. He goes, if The Flash does get delayed until January, does that mean that there won't be a crossover and there would still be 22 episodes? So here's my prediction on this, and then I guess we'll hear what Paige has to say. I don't think we're going to get a crossover next season. I think next season is going to be, if we do, they're going to be small, like 1 or 2 characters crossing over with each other. I think the next big crossover we get is going to be in fall of 2021. And if, as far as it getting delayed till January, if anything, we may get a couple episodes like before that. But yeah, we're looking at like a mid-season thing for The Flash, I think, if things keep going the way they're going. Do you have any thoughts on this about like the crossover? Because I don't think we're going to get one next season. Or not a big one, I should say.
I don't know. It just depends. Like, I don't know. Some people like freaking out, like, oh my God, we're definitely not getting one. But I'm like, it depends. We still don't know. Like, literally, this whole thing that's going on at the moment is a day by day thing.
Yeah.
They could honestly go film the last 3 episodes, say middle of June, go straight into season 7 filming for all the shows, and then all of a sudden they're back on schedule.
Yeah.
They're already going to have a 4-month freaking break for this, what's going on at the moment.
You know what? They better have some amazing scripts. That's all I got to say, because writers should be writing stuff right now. Like, if you've got any pitch ideas for any of these shows or movies, now is the time to start writing it out.
Like, I think there'll be a crossover next season regardless. It's such a big thing for the CW shows. It'd be crazy for them to not have it.
Yeah.
The thing is that they just might, instead of having an episode, like, I guess 8 or 9, they might move it till next year. So we might get them in, I don't know, like 13 or 14 or something like that. Or they start off the mid-season with them. So episode 10 is the crossover, and then we jump into the normal seasons after that. That's like depending on episode count, obviously.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Laura E here goes, what's your opinion about the new comic book coming out called Gotham Knights? I haven't heard of that comic. Gotham Knights?
Yeah.
That sounds like something from a long time ago. I remember There was something like that back in the 80s.
Is this a parody? Is this Boogie Nights?
I don't know. We need some more. We need more context on that one. I'm not sure about that one, Laura. Angelo Carter with a $4.99 super chat. Do you think at some point we could ever get an Arrowverse Justice League series with a limited run? No. Similar to Marvel Netflix Defender show? No. I don't think. I think any Justice League stuff we get on the Arrowverse shows will be during the crossover. What about you? Do you think we'll see a Justice League series? I mean, that would require a lot of expensive actors to all be on the same show together. And I think that might be a problem for a regular series.
If anything, it'll be like just the crossovers now, I guess, the Justice League things.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the Justice League will only appear in the crossovers. And I don't think we'll see any more of that. But I mean, we could get it. I don't think it is. I don't think we're going to see anything outside of that. Let's see. Yeah, let's talk about this for a second. Cody posted this. Morbius and Ghostbusters were delayed last night. So to give you guys an idea of what we're talking about like Hollywood being screwed for like the next few years. These movies didn't just get like slightly delayed. They got pushed back till next year, which means now anything next year that was going to come out in those spots will get pushed back to the next year, or at least by a few months. So it's kind of like a domino effect. And I was actually looking forward to Morbius. Honestly, it looked like it was going to be quite interesting. I think they thought that because of the context of the movie, also about somebody getting bit by a bat and getting superpowers, they probably thought that wasn't a good idea. I saw a lot of memes of that online. And Ghostbusters is a movie that I had a lot of high expectations for because it was sort of continuing that original timeline. So, what do you think about some of these other movies? Do you think like a lot of these other movies, do you think Wonder Woman is actually going to come out when it says it is? Do you think things will be back to normal by then? Or do you think we might see Wonder Woman pushed away?
Well, from what I know, there's still some movies that are lined up to release in July. So that, and I think by that point, cinemas will be back open. Because as I said, the economy has to keep running. They can't just shut things down and let not just like a small family-run business, but like chains and chains of like mega franchises close down.
Yeah.
Like they can't allow that. Like I know there's a thing. Will they have to allow this? Well, you can implement that in the cinema. I know it's going to be an arse and a half to do it, but you can implement that. Like, between every single session, you wipe down the seats, or you do dedicated seating, and you got to make sure that people are sitting in their seats, so you know exactly which seats to run in there. Or you just literally remove the freaking chair. You remove the actual thing where you put your ass. Just take that out. It's like, hey, we can't sit there now. So you just remove that, and you only allow X amount of people in a cinema,
right?
And do that. So, and then you're able to go in and clean. Cinemas will have to reopen because so many of them are going to die. It's just impossible to do that. And also, people
the sad reality of it is, you're absolutely right. If we don't get movies back in theaters, the box office will completely crumble. There will not be a box office because it was already running on life support anyway. I mean. So yeah, definitely. Yeah,
like they can't just it's with multiple things as well. It's not just cinema. It's just like retail shops and certain shopping centers and stuff like that, and malls in America. So like things have to go back to normal, like eventually.
So I thought I would share this tweet with you, Paigey. It says it's from Linda Carter. It says, "Wish I could give my bracelets to every woman who has to fend off Twitter trolls."
What, you the resident sexist?
I thought it was funny. Like, I think it's a funny thing that, that Linda Carter is sitting on Twitter now because people don't have a lot to do. So, I mean, she's out there and she's like giving out memes and stuff. I think this is funny to me, but some of the comments and responses to it, I'm not even going to read through them. They're pretty hardcore, like bad comments.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
But no, I think it's funny that like we see these celebrities sort of jumping in and being playful. You know what I mean? Because even she's got a little smiley face after it, which I thought was pretty clever. And also, I love this character. You know what? I honestly thought that during this downtime, I'm probably going to go back and watch the series on DC Universe. So I think that'll be kind of fun. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's go through some more super chats quickly, and then I have another couple topics. Radical Z with a $2 super chat. I hope the MCU isn't confusing after this mess. So the good news is that both movies that were supposed to come out this year chronologically aren't going to screw with anything that we're dealing with right now in the movies, as far as we know. Black Widow is a story that took place as its own separate story. And if it does have anything that ties to any other movies, I don't think they're going to be major unless I'm totally missing something. And then the Eternals takes place like 3,000 years in the past, I believe, is what they said, unless that again has been changed.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, pretty sure that it's in present day. Like I think it starts in the past.
Oh, so it starts in the past and then works up to present day.
I think they're going to quickly get to present day because it equals # cheaper to film.
That's true. But I think they said that a large chunk of it was going to be like in their like flashbacks and things like that. So we will see that. Either way, I don't think either of those films it's going to have a big impact on the rest of the movies. And I know they said that Doctor Strange is supposed to not have any really big delays or anything like that either. So we'll have to wait and see. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Let's see. Oh, geez. I think I missed another one. I really hope they fix this super chat thing. If StreamYard, I love you guys. I absolutely do. But please, 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 let us get super chats in a very organized tab over here. So Cody goes, Gotham Knights is more or less a Twilight parody. Are we talking about Gotham High? Is that what it is? Is it? I thought it was Gotham High. Am I wrong? I thought it was Gotham High. Anyway, if that's what you're talking about, yeah, I've seen it. We could talk about it in a moment. Gary Gammon with a $4.99 super chat. Do you think we'll have the amount of orders of episode for all the shows next season, or do you think they'll have the regular amount? It's very, very, very early to predict that. It really depends on how soon the episodes or the actors go back to film and how soon those episodes come out to what happens next season. I suspect most of the shows, I think Legends will get a full season because they're already short anyway. Batwoman will probably get a full season because of the HBO Max tie-in. Supergirl, I think if any of the shows were going to get a shorter season, just based on what we know right now, I think Supergirl has the highest probability to have a shorter season. Do you think we'll see a shorter season with anything other than Supergirl? Or do you think that's the only one?
Probably the only one, I think. Maybe Superman and Lois. That's just because there might be like the longer stuff with the pilot and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a big maybe. Because they obviously would probably really want that to be a 22 episode season.
Staggervore 199 super chat. I think Laura E was talking about Gotham High. Okay, thank you for the super chat. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's okay. Like, I feel like stuff like that is not for me. Like, I feel like that's for a demographic that is not me. So if there's a younger generation that likes that kind of stuff or is looking for that kind of content, that's fine. I've heard some people saying, oh, it's okay because it's not canon. Well, everything is technically canon. Anything that's not considered in the main timelines is considered an Elseworld story. So in some universe somewhere, Gotham High is a canon story. I don't know. Do you care about it? Do you think it's a big deal?
Didn't even know it existed. So
you didn't see the trailer for Gotham High?
Nope.
Okay.
Can't remember at least. Maybe it went in one ear, out the other.
Okay.
Really
Fair enough. All right. So let's I want to talk about something else. Paige, you ready for this one? This is what we talked about a little bit earlier.
Oh, it's about that meme.
Which one?
The meme.
No. This is about this. About the Snyder cut.
That was the meme.
Oh, is it? Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if that's what you meant. Let's talk about the Snyder cut. Hashtag release it.
Hashtag
release the Snyder cut.
Hashtag release the Snyder cut? ?
So we haven't really talked about this very much. I know people have asked us about it before. I saw this. I thought it was hilarious. I knew right away it was a joke. I knew it was an April Fool's joke or whatever. I don't think they were trying to hide the fact that it was. But it did make me think about it that I actually was on Facebook today chatting with some family members, and there was a group where there's a lot of like movie shared stuff, like content, everything. And there's a bunch of people still trying to insist that the Snyder Cut exists, that it's a real movie, that it's been suppressed by Warner Brothers, that the film is sitting on Zack Snyder's shelf somewhere and he's shown it to several people. Do you think that this will actually be a thing? Do you think we'll actually see the Justice League Snyder Cut ever see the light of day at this point?
I don't know. Maybe I'm in that. I think I've said it before. I'm in that park, that area where I really couldn't give a crap whether it comes out or it doesn't come out. Like if it comes out, I watch it. If it doesn't come out, I really couldn't care.
So let me ask you this: do you think it's going to be a lot better than the one we had? Do you think it'll be a lot better, or just
not really? Because it's this thing. I reckon like 70% of the movie is what he planned anyway, if not more, maybe 75%. You can tell when you watch it as well, and you go back and watch the trailers. Like there's small differences, but people seem to take the small differences and be like, "Oh my god, that was a 30-minute sequence." I'm like, no, it was probably like 2 seconds. Like calm down. Like I understand people wanting to see it because, especially with how Zach left the project and everything like that, and like I can see like the disrespect that he was shown. But I really don't think this movie would have been like that much better than what we got. It seemed like there was a lot of stuff trying to happen. Like apparently Darkseid had a large presence, but then he also wasn't the villain. Steppenwolf was still the villain. Apparently they were trying to handle a Cyborg story with a Flash story, and then the resurrection of Superman, while also bringing together it sounds like it was trying to cram 2 movies in one. Like I don't think it was ever going to be great, which is it's just sad to say because I thought like there was a potential to be there. But once you see the movie, that's pretty much the movie you're going to get with maybe a few more Easter eggs and maybe some other characters introduced.
Right?
You know what I mean? Yeah, like as I said, I don't really care whether it comes out on, and also it honestly doesn't matter if it comes out or not anyway. Because do you think they're going to even bother continuing on anything from this? No. It's going to come out. It's just going to be like almost like a director's cut from a movie that came out 15 years ago.
They're invested in the new universe with Wonder Woman and Aquaman and Shazam. They don't care about this.
Yeah, like I don't. Yeah, like it's like they've already moved on. Like they're not going to go. Oh, okay, well, that sort of borderline toxic group. Like that's the thing. Actually, let me rephrase that. I think a lot of the Snyder Cut people aren't toxic, but the thing is that they have I'd say about maybe like a 20%, maybe 15% population within their quote unquote movement, which is just so toxic. Like it's unbelievable. Like arguably worse than like K-pop. Like it's K-pop versus that segment of Snyder Cut. Yeah, so it's pretty crazy.
I have to say this. I think that a lot of people that were involved with this film are the ones that keep perpetuating the drama with it, and I find it to be very funny because a lot of them, with the exception of Zach, seemed to be supportive of the movie before it came out and how great it was going to be. And now all they can do is sort of dog it because it wasn't the Zack Snyder cut, which I think it's just odd to me. So anyway, yeah, Snyder cut, don't really care. I think that I don't think it would be much better than the actual film we got. So there's that. Super chat time from Xylem. I hope that's pronounced correctly. 499 super chat. Do you think Supergirl's next season could be its last due to things happening around the world now alongside her being pregnant? So I don't know. Okay, so let me put this out there. Before we had a Superman and Lois show, I would say that the priority for the CW is to keep the Supergirl show around simply because they like the presence of having that type of character, this wholesome, good character around to use on TV. But now that the Superman and Lois show is a thing, they could probably stand to lose Supergirl, I think. And Melissa may very well want to take a break after being pregnant and, with their child growing up. Most actors tend to spend a few years working and then they're like, no, I'm going to go, spend time with my family and stuff. And I think we could be looking at that. I don't know. I can't predict the future. I think it's more than likely if Supergirl is going to end, it's going to be because Melissa walks away from it and not because of what's going on right now. Do you think that's fair to say, Paigey? Yeah. I mean, because I don't think what's happening now is going to affect that show any differently than it would affect like any other show, to be honest. Quindolin with the 198 super chat. Good to see you, Quindolin. Will there be a new Justice League with the new Batman? So that's a great question. So we're talking about the Matt Reeves Batman film. I don't even know if that's connected to the other movies. Isn't it considered to be its own standalone thing? Or are we not sure about that yet?
It's unclear. You never know. They're probably going to wait to see how it performs, I guess, and how people responded to Robert Pattinson. Then it wouldn't surprise me in the Flash movie where it all gets brought together.
Because because they're saying that this Batman is going to be a like a detective, a true detective Batman, like more like the early days of Batman, instead of the one that we got, in BVS and Justice League, which is a more like hands-on tech fighting Batman. So Tom says Melissa seems very disinterested. It's been like that for a while, honestly. So so I don't know if we're going to see one. If we, it'll be a while before we see another Justice League movie based on what happened, which is sad because the Justice League, by all accounts, should have been more popular than the Avengers, I think, if I had to take a stab at it. So yeah, there's that. So thank you so much for the super chat. Canada Graphs here. As I said about Flash, Supergirl goes on as long as Melissa wants it to go on. With a new child and a husband working in New Jersey, even gets picked up, I'd be shocked if she wants to continue. That's a good point, and I think that's fair to say. I mean, again, Supergirl sort of, at least when it comes to her storylines, and I guess you could say this for a few of the shows, it's been kind of treading the same water for a while now. And I don't know if it's because Melissa doesn't really care where they go with the character, or the writers just don't know what to do with her. But yeah, I mean, I could see her taking a break. Melissa has other options. She likes Broadway. She likes other things. So walking away from Supergirl, I don't think is going to be a big deal for her. Laura E., when do you think that Flash movie is coming out? Wasn't it supposed to start filming like this week or something?
No, end of this month. I think end of this month pre-production was meant to start, which goes for a bit.
I was going to say, I knew it was really soon.
It was like in the next couple of months where like officially would have started filming, like cameras would start rolling.
Jeez. So I wonder if Ezra Miller's got other obligations, because that's really what's going to happen. So if the filming,
they wouldn't be able to. It'd be like everything would be pushed back. I don't think they purposely, he hasn't been signed onto anything. You
don't think he's gonna? Isn't he connected to the Fantastic Beasts franchise?
That was filming right now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so that he'll have to do that, and then they'll move to Flash. Like they even were filming in the exact same city, where I'm pretty sure he probably would have done some prep for Flash while filming Fantastic Beasts, whether it's costume fitting or various things like that.
Skinny Boy 10 here says, "What's our favorite Batman villain of all time?" So I guess we're talking about Batman specific rogues. God, that's tough. It's not the Joker. The Joker's definitely not my favorite. I mean, he's probably the most iconic. Batman specific villains, because there's a lot of Batman villains I like that's happened over the years who didn't start out as Batman villains, but I guess they kind of moved into that territory. Would you count Azrael as a Batman villain? I guess. I mean,
he's more of an anti-hero, isn't he? I guess
he is, but I feel like if I had to pick one, I think it was him, because I really loved his story arc. So I'm going to go with him. That's my pick. So who would be your favorite Batman villain?
Scarecrow is pretty good.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
But I do like the Riddler. Like that's like Riddler. I'd probably say Riddler.
What about you guys in the chat? Post your favorite Batman villain in the chat. Elizabeth Moore with a $2.23 super chat. That's super specific. Thank you so much for that. How was Lucifer so far? Also, feelings on iZombie. So, I never really talked about it, but iZombie I thought was a great show. Did you watch iZombie?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was a great show. It wasn't really something I would review, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. As far as Lucifer goes, I have not started yet. I'm going to be starting this week. Did you watch Lucifer at all?
I haven't watched one episode.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. So you check back with me like next week about the Lucifer thing. Christ on Infinite Earth tossed me $1. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, showing the support there. So I'm seeing a lot of like Mr. Freeze's, Ra's al Ghul, Penguin, Martha. Wow. Oh, Clayface. I forgot. Clayface is kind of cool. I can't pronounce this. I can never say this name. That bad guy's name, I can never pronounce it correctly. Yeah, I can never do that. I can never say it. Never ever. Never ever. Never ever. Oh, geez. Oh, Laura, do you think that Alice become part of Team Batwoman, or think she'll stay a villain? I personally feel like Alice has not cannot redeem the stuff she's done. I think she's done way too much. But I mean, it's the CW. They might find a way to redeem her. Would you want to see her as part of Team Batwoman? I mean, I feel like it would be taming the beast, so to speak.
Gonna say no.
No. So, and that's pretty much it, you guys. We're coming up on the hour mark. If you got any more super
Hold
chat,
on.
yeah. What?
This is the segment in the stream where it's called "Can Eric guess that tune?" Eric should be able to guess this tune because he is a shill of comic book media and television and movies.
Okay.
Do you think you'll be able to get it?
Probably not.
We'll go. Okay. Well, we'll do it once and we'll see if you can get it. Okay.
All right. Nope.
Can you get it?
Don't know.
Oh, I'm disappointed, Eric.
What was it?
Oh, it was Harley Quinn's theme from Birds of Prey.
Oh, well, of course I remember where that is. Oh, look, it's an Ant-Man and the Wasp poster right here. Ant-Man and the Wasp. If everybody's asking about it.
What's the other one?
Which one?
Is that Straight Sharks?
Up where?
Next to the left of the Ghostbusters.
Yes, it is right there.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was. Yeah, I thought it looked like Straight Sharks.
That's a Mario one over there. It says 1UP, then Batman, then Thundercats right here, and the one you can't see is Civil War. Then Flash, Ghostbusters, Street Sharks, Flash, G.I. Joe, Spider-Man, Ant-Man, Star Wars, right there. Down there is a little DJ logo, which you can barely see. That's Stranger Things, Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse, and then there's a Guardians of the Galaxy there, and Batman right there. So there's a bunch of them over here. So I think I was gonna show you guys something, but I don't have it anywhere near me. So again, I think we're gonna wrap this up. So if you guys have any super chats, go ahead. And Elizabeth Moore with a $1.06 super chat. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. I appreciate it. So I guess we'll do some dad jokes while we wait for super chats. Do you have any dad jokes tonight?
Yeah, I got a couple. I'll let you go from your little box first, though.
Yes, yeah, my little box. I don't want to do that one. What do you call a man with a nose but no body?
Nose body?
Nope, nobody knows.
There we go. Jesus Christ, that was bad.
That was bad.
Okay, I've got 3 lined up. Are you ready for them?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I'm going to do one at a time. So I'll let you do. I'll do one, then you do one. So we're going to have 7 dad jokes or 6.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I'll have 6. So I'll finish off with my last one, which is going to be a good one. It's very relevant as well. Okay, so Eric, I've got a new job at the Guillotine factory today.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be heading there shortly.
I don't even know what to say about that one. Is it my go? Why are teddy bears never hungry?
Because they're always stuffed.
Yes, ding ding ding. Yeah. You got it right.
I knew it'd be something like that. Okay. Oh, this one's stupid. Why is 16 always full? Can you guess it?
Hold on. Just like it. Always full?
Yeah, why is 16 always full?
I don't know.
Because it ate and ate. It's a shit one. It's really bad.
Yeah, that's really bad.
You have your last one, and I'll have my one here. Okay.
Yeah, let me grab one. I'm just going to grab one and go with it. I can't. This is a word that I will not try and pronounce. It's going to come out bad. Oh. What's black and white and green all over?
I know, an Irish penguin.
A pickle in a tuxedo. Doo-doom.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
All right, that's it. No more. I'm about to start looking elsewhere.
Okay, here we go. This is the last one. We'll be ending the stream straight after this. So get ready. We will literally end the stream due to cringe.
I've got the button ready. We're just gonna, guys, this is gonna be so cringy. Thank you for seeing us and hanging out and coming in and chatting. This is gonna be the one that ends it. So let's go. Let's do it.
What do you call a dinosaur that uses cheap toilet paper?
I don't know.
A megasaurus. Good night.
Of course, we had a super chat come in. Of course we did.
I think we can end on I think we can answer that really quick.
We're gonna have to.
The 2-letter answer. No.
199 super chat from Adam. Do you think Legends will end on a strong note? Probably not. Probably not. But I'm gonna hold out hope that it does because I'm just being Mr. Positive here. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let's hope Legends ends on a strong note. And that's it. Bad dad jokes. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Farewell.
Peace out.